A lot of people don't know this about me, but for the last 8 years of my life, since 2017, I've been vegan. I haven't ate any type of chicken, steak, fish, cheese, dairy, nothing for literally 7, 8 years. And just in January of this year, I finally went back to eating animal products. And I gotta tell y'all boys, it single-handedly has been one of the greatest decisions that I've ever made in my entire life. And I'm gonna explain exactly why in this video as I eat my lunch with y'all. So the reason why I went vegan in the first place goes all the way back to 2017. So a lot of you don't know this as well, but my parents own a barbecue business. So they do pulled pork, ribs, brisket, all that. Growing up, I used to eat this stuff all the time. And it was basically just like the standard part of my diet. Like pretty much every single day after school, I would come home and eat some type of like pulled pork or some type of barbecue related food. And it didn't take long after a couple years for me to get a little kind of tired of it. But I enjoyed it. I think it was one of the best tasting things ever. And then what happened back in 2017 was one of my best friends named Juan, he went vegan. And me and this guy were training every single day together. We would go to work out in the gym together, doing calisthenics, doing all type of body weight stuff, going crazy. Pause. But what happened was he went vegan and he got stronger than me. And that really pissed me off because we were always about the same level. But then he went vegan and I was making fun of him for it. And then he got stronger than me. So I was like, wait a minute, maybe there's something here. And then he got me prescribed to all of these movies about animals and what happens in the production of animals. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the stuff that we do in America to farm animals is cruel. It's absolutely horrible. Like that was my biggest reasoning behind going vegan in the first place, was what goes into producing animal-based products. And I pretty much watched every single movie you could think of in the vegan space. I don't remember all the names of them, but like What the Health and like Game Changers and the one with the forks over knives. Like, yeah, I seen all that stuff. And literally I went on a binge of one weekend watching these things and it just changed my mind. And I never ate this stuff ever again. And honestly, at first, I felt better than I felt while I was eating animal products. Right when I started going vegan, I stopped going out to restaurants so much. So instead of going to Chipotle every day, I had to now cook food. And if I went to Chipotle, I would just get like the tofu or whatever. But when I first went vegan, I was eating really clean vegan food. I was eating whole foods. Everything was as clean as I could get. I just started making money now, so I was investing in good quality stuff. And it was good. Like I became a vegan advocate for years and years and years and years of my life. But in the last year and a half, 2 years, I feel like I hit a plateau. Like I feel like I couldn't break through certain levels mentally and in the gym. And I think a big part of it was the food that I was eating. Now I was still eating primarily plant-based, but I was going out to more restaurants now. As I'm traveling nonstop, I was always at restaurants. And as a vegan, going to restaurants is freaking impossible to find good eats. You're always having to eat salads or pasta or pizza or garbage. It sucks. And with my lifestyle, it just became extremely tricky to maintain. But I was never in my life going to consider eating chicken or fish or steak like that ever again. And then I went to Argentina with my girl. And every time I go there, they always offer me steak and all these things. And I would just always say no, except for this year in December. After 7, 8 years of being plant-based, reaching a point where I felt like I was the unhealthiest I had been in my life. I was waking up tired every day. I had massive brain fog. I was always bloated. I just wasn't feeling good anymore eating the plant-based diet. I said, okay, let me try to eat some steak. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all boys, I ate some steak and I felt bad about it. And then I realized that I've been missing out on this for so many years. And not only was I missing out on the taste of the food, but since coming back home after that trip in January, I've switched almost predominantly to animal-based foods and cutting out a lot of the carb intake and just focusing on lean meats and vegetables. And I kid you not, I feel like I've reversed my aging by years. Like, I've been making my best YouTube videos. I've been lifting crazy heavy in the gym. I've been waking up with stupid energy. I just feel better than I ever did. And then I went to a doctor, like a biohack doctor, and we did look, I'm getting stronger. I haven't been getting bigger in years. I've been hitting a wall with my size and everything. And then I went to the biohack guy, and he told me straight up, like, yeah, bro, like, you were deficient all these years of these vitamins inside of your body because of the plant-based diet you were eating. And I wasn't balancing it out with supplements. So now I'm moving different. Shout out to my boy at the Q Institute. Now I'm moving different. Every single day I take like 15 of these supplements, all naturals, like vitamin D and vitamin K. And there's also one peptide that I take. And that in combination with eating animal-based foods, I swear I finally feel like myself again, energy-wise, and I haven't felt like this in so long. So I'm done being vegan, but I respect all my vegan friends and family out there, and I still do have a lot of love for the animals. I always will. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna participate in the argument anymore that the healthiest diet for a young man is a plant-based diet. If you are an older person, past 50 years old, past 60 years old, there are many studies that show that the plant-based diet is good for longevity and it will get you right. But only if you're eating the right stuff. And also if you have some diseases, I've heard about the plant-based diet reversing cancer and reversing diabetes and high cholesterol. So trust me, I know about all of it. But for me as a young man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all boys, eating some steak, eating some chicken, I've been missing out for the last couple years. So I quit being vegan after 8 years. And I actually think it was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. To all the vegans in the comment section, I still love you. And one day I'll maybe go back to being plant-based. But right now, I am trying to reverse all the stuff that I did to my body in the last couple years of eating processed vegan garbage. So for now, I'm gonna enjoy my lunch. And yeah, I don't know, maybe somebody enjoyed this video. Give it a like, hit subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.